Hi there. This video is for the men whose women, wives or girlfriends have recently left them. And I want to talk to you about what are the first things you should do after a breakup or separation, especially if you were married before. Now, before I carry on, I'd like to tell you a bit about myself so that to put some context to it. My name is Joy Nandi, and I've been through a lot of things in life, including divorce. I have two lovely daughters, and of course I'm going through parental alienation as well. And I know it can be a very difficult thing to go through after she says goodbye. When you have invested so much of your life, your time, your money, your future into a relationship. As I go on in this series of videos, I'm also going to explain to you the psyche and dynamics between a man and a woman, so that you have a better understanding of how our relationships really work. Like I said, my name is Joy Nandi. I'm 59 years old, and I've been through quite a bit in life, including a divorce. And in this video, I'd like to tell you, if you're going through it for the first time, the first things you should do after she says goodbye. Now, if you're a drinker, then the first thing that you might be feeling like doing is to drown your sorrows in self-pity, and you might want to hit the pubs, you might want to drink at home and just forget all of this. You might even call your best friend to hang out with you so that you can, pour out your heart to him or her. And I did a lot of research after I went through. Now, my divorce was like 27 years ago, or rather 25 years ago. And I've done a lot to overcome that. But in the initial stages, when somebody leaves you, the first thing you would feel is that you're unattractive, and that could bring you down. And I want you to know that that is a wrong belief. You're not unattractive. You are still attractive. That's the first thing you should acknowledge. The second thing is, you might go through this phase where you are yet to accept what is happening to you. And this is the phase where it's most difficult, because you're in a state of confusion and trauma. So you will not be able to think right. And hitting the bottle would be the obvious if you're a drinker. Now, I will say that if you're a drinker, you are permitted to have a few drinks. But what will happen is, if you don't control this, even your best friend will get bored of you wallowing all the time. And they might try to avoid you. In fact, all your friends will avoid you if you keep complaining, until you find yourself sitting alone at the pub and drinking yourself silly. I hope that it does not reach to that stage. Like I said, you are entitled to have a drink initially, but you cannot carry on forever in self-pity. So try to reduce that drinking, and try not to drink too much. And the second thing you should do is try to come to terms with what is happening. Try to accept that this is happening to you, because healing can only start after you accept what has happened. For as long as you want to avoid it, and you want to find reasons, you want to point fingers at somebody else, you're never going to really start the healing process. So the sooner you start to accept what has happened, the better it is for you, and if you have kids, also for them. And if you have kids, no matter what, please try to stay in touch with them. When I was going through it, it was very difficult for me, because I was unable to smile. At that time, even smiling was such a difficult chore. It was painful. And I didn't want to show my sad face to my children. So I took the decision to go to India to join an ashram to heal myself. But anyway, in life, if you want a guarantee, get a toaster, because in every other circumstance, there is no guarantee in life. You just have to come to terms with it. The second thing you should not do is do not call up your ex and call her names like bitch and this, that, and the other, because that's not going to help anyone. She will only resent you more, and she will think that she made the right decision by leaving you if you behave in such a manner. It is best to stay calm, and if you have such inclinations, especially when you're drunk and you think you have a right to say text her or call her and call her names, I would strongly advise you against that. My ex-wife, until today, she would say to me, Joy, the one thing you never did was call me a bitch. And I thought that was pointless. It's not going to serve me, calling people names. I mean, it's not in my vocabulary anyway to call people that. So try not to do that. Now, the third thing is you might start thinking about self-destructive thoughts. You know what I mean, the S word. I do not want you to go down that path, because there is life after marriage, after separation, after divorce. And if you subscribe to my channel, I'm going to slowly help you out. In fact, I'm in the midst of writing a book on how to help men like yourselves to come out of this phase and thrive again. And I'm speaking from experience, actually. So stick with me, and I'll hold your hand and gently help you weave through this maze and come out and be successful and happy again. And I can tell you, it is possible. There is happiness. There is light at the end of the tunnel. No matter how dark it may seem right now, do not give up faith. Do not give up hope. And you will find love again, if that's what you're looking for. The fourth thing is, do not go out there trying to seduce or get to know women, because women are born with this natural intuition that they can sense desperation in a man, and that puts them off. So it is best not to do anything in that direction. Go out, sure, have a good time, have a dance, have some friends to chat with, do some sports, do some exercise, and which is highly recommended, which is the fifth thing I want to bring up, is hit the gym. Take up a gym membership, and if you can afford it, and if you've never done it and never done heavy weights before, then I would recommend that you get a coach, a gym coach, a trainer, to teach you how to lift weights correctly. And also, if you have any body problems, back aches and all of that, it's best to discuss that with them so that they can recommend the right exercises for you. I will put a caveat though. I did say I'm 59, but if you are like above 40 and you've never done any heavy weights before, then I think you should get an ECG check first. Check your heart, because a lot of people have got heart attacks when they have never done lift heavy weights before when they were younger. And so that could give a lot of strain onto your heart when you're older. So I would recommend starting off with light weights, or even just walks and general exercises and stuff like that, to get your body into a certain system, conditioning the body so that it can take on more weight. But please do that. Go and see a GP, go and see a doctor, and get your heart checked. You know, when things like this happen in your life, it's a sign. It's a sign for you to take stock of your life, of your own life. It's not about she leaving you and all the things that has happened, but it's more about you making a good assessment of your life. Now that you're alone, now that it's quiet, it's a good time to go within yourself. And you will find that actually you're not that bad after all, that you can see yourself through this, that you are man enough to go through this, to fight through this in a calm way. The sixth thing that I would like to tell you to do, and if you're not spiritual or a worshiper of God, do consider that, because this is one thing that really helped me out. Right after my separation, a friend of mine, I was in London at that time, a friend of mine, I was working at a college, and a student of mine came up to me and she said, I heard your story and I'm going for this Raja Yoga meditation at Covent Garden. There's this place called Raja Yoga. Raja means for the mind, meditation. So I joined her and we went for a few guided meditation sessions, and that really helped me out. And I bought a CD from there, a guided meditation CD, and I used to play it every night at home. It kept my thoughts from going elsewhere and thinking of crazy things. So it sort of like guided my mind into the right direction. And that was a starting point for me. So if you're in London, check out Raja Yoga meditation at Covent Garden. They have free classes. You can go there and sit in, and I assure you that it will be a wonderful experience for you. Also, this is a good time to reevaluate your spiritual beliefs, and I would highly recommend turning to God. And if you're not a God believer, then my videos are not going to be of much use to you, because I am going to talk about God and spiritual knowledge as I go on. Because in 2013, you see, although the divorce was a big hit, but after that I also endured so many other big hits that put me into deep depressions. There was a time I was in depression for 2 years for something else after the divorce. And in 2013, I ended up finding myself at a Yana ashram. Yana means knowledge, so it's not about this yoga and stuff like that, where we study spiritual books and we have an understanding of who we are. We answer the question, who I am, and we discover that we are the soul, and the soul is immense and powerful. We are not this body and mind composite. We are not this weak. When we think ourselves as human beings, we will feel weak. But when we think ourselves as this invincible, immense soul, we're able to overcome anything in life. And through that knowledge, you will also thrive, not just mentally and physically, but also in your business, in your relationships, in life altogether. So I don't intend to make, this is my first video in this direction. The aim of this new series of videos are to get men who have been left by their wives, especially in a marriage situation, to come out of this pickle, this state of mind, this confusion, this trauma, in a peaceful and calm way, so that you can start loving yourself again and thrive again in life. Like I said, I'm writing a book, and I'd like to offer that book to you, which will be a good guide for you to maneuver and to navigate yourself, especially your state of mind, so that you can heal again. And hopefully the next relationships that you get into will not have the end result as the last one. So thank you very much for spending your time with me. I also want you to know that I feel for you and I really understand what you're going through. I couldn't find videos like this. In fact, YouTube was just starting off at that time. Like I said, it's 25 years ago. So there wasn't much information online, especially for men giving advice to men. But today there are a lot. But most of them are taking some other directions. But like I said, I spent months at a spiritual ashram in India. So I'm going, and I've learned a lot. I've even written books. If you go through my previous videos on this channel, you'll see me reading from my books. So that could give you some faith in listening to me as we go along. And I'd like to be your guide, your father, your uncle, your brother, or just your mate to help you through this phase, because I've been through it and I know how difficult it is. It is very difficult. Everything seems hazy, everything seems bleak. You just like can't think. So in this state of confusion, do not make big decisions, do not take on big decisions or responsibilities. Allow yourself to go deeper into these emotions. Understand more of yourself than the situation. There's no need to ask why she did this and why she did that. I gave her everything and I did everything. There's no need to go down that street. Like I said, everything that happens in life happens for a reason, and most of the time it happens for the better. If you're a younger man, like when I went through this, I was only 37. So my friend said, fortunately, you're still young, that you can start again. But I've never remarried, just so you know. And I'm enjoying my life as a single man. I did have a few relationships, but they didn't work as well. But I've also learned from all those relationships, and that's why all those learnings and those teachings from my ashram, I've combined them to make them palatable and understandable to just about anybody. It's simplified so that you can grasp these concepts and apply them immediately. So, like I said in the beginning, if you're a drinker, you're entitled to drink. I understand the situation, but it's not going to help you in the long term. So do try to control that. And if you can, once you have built your inner strength a bit, try to stop drinking completely, or just become a social drinker where you don't deliberately go out to the pub to have a drink. But if you're in an event or in a party, then yeah, have a couple of drinks, but try not to exceed 3 or 4 if you can. Don't try to get shit-faced. Because when you get drunk, you become very emotional, and things go really bad for somebody if they get really emotional. They might say and do things because you're no longer in control of your faculties. The alcohol takes over. Something else does the thinking for you. So try to control that. And that would be one of the most important things. The second one, like I said, out of the 6 that I told you, is try to do exercise and hit the gym. Start building yourself, because the great thing about working out is that your natural body chemistry will start making you feel confident again. You don't have to try so hard in your mind to try to be confident and to be attractive. While you're building your body, you start to look good. The opposite sex will find you attractive. But something magical happens that through your natural body chemistry, you automatically start to feel confident again. So these are the 2 most important things I want you to start off with. And if you can, when you're ready, at your own time, stand in front of the mirror, see that beautiful man, and see if you can smile at him. These are the 3 things I want you to do immediately. And the 4th thing is obviously subscribe to my channel so that you'll be notified of my following videos. And these videos are designed specifically just to get you out of this state of trauma and mental depression, so that you can be happy again, as I have done for myself. So stick around with me. Don't worry too much. Don't overthink things. Just go with the flow. Look after yourself. Eat well. Make sure your living conditions are nice. Be comfortable at home. And try to be comfortable in your own skin. Thanks very much. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.